Hello, welcome to podcast number, well, I think we're on number 75 now from FITV. We're sitting here, it's a Friday morning. We're just having some coffee and chilling out, really, aren't we?
Taking it easy.
We are. We're enjoying a nice coffee from a machine in a retailer that we're not going to name.
That's very close to us.
That's very close to us.
Oh, they're very good. Let's say it's Stanley Services shop. Basically, we've got a lovely coffee machine.
It's the best coffee in town. I'm going to say it. I'm saying that, but for a machine that's in a fuel station, it's really good.
It's very true. It is. It's very, very nice.
This podcast sponsored by Stanley Services.
We should do that. Do you know what? If you're listening to this and you'd like to give us some money.
Yeah.
And we can say something about your business or your
Apple.
product.
Yeah, a bit like
Apple. Yeah, you definitely need to get in contact with us because Hannah's got a big problem, haven't you?
A big problem.
With your headphones, because you've got a variety of headphones on your desk.
Yes, I do have a variety of headphones. Apple, can you please come in and give us all nice iMacs that have Bluetooth capabilities? Because I bought these very nice headphones that are wireless Bluetoothy. Came back, lovely. I'm going to use them on my nice computer.
They're really they're the ones you tap, don't they?
Yeah, noise cancelling. They're so good.
They're quite fancy.
Yeah, but they also, you tap them and you can hear.
And you can hear people if you'd like to.
And then you tap them and you're not.
I barely tap because 9 times out of 10 I don't want to hear.
You just don't want to hear us. No.
It's very good though. So hopefully Apple, you will give us some nice iMacs in the post for Christmas.
Yeah, and new person, if you're listening and you know how to attach Bluetooth headphones to PCs, then get in touch with us.
There is no Bluetooth.
There's no Bluetooth adapter
we're not allowed Bluetooth capabilities on our, unless we get a special doodah dongly thing.
Oh my goodness me! Right, it's up to you then, Apple. So it's a busy old news week this week. I didn't think we were going to be that full, which is why I recorded the astronomy section. But actually, come down to it, we're running at nearly 40 minutes.
Oh,
my favourite time of the show. It's so funny because when, as a listener probably knows and listened to the terrible podcast before Paula was away, when Paula was away even, Paula was away, and when Paula was away we went mad into, oh my God, let's cover all the news that we can possibly cover.
Ever.
So we ended up with very, very long shows.
But it's all right this week, it's all right. We did consider, Thomas has done a piece this week on the Falklands welcome sign that you can see when you come in via boat. And somebody's decided they want to move it for whatever reason. So he went along to the meeting to listen to that. And he came back and he came up with this great idea of basic news, which we would just cut down our news time by just going, look, the Falkland sign, somebody wants to move it, they've said no, the committee's agreed to it. And that would be it.
I think that's a great idea.
Simple news, straight to the point. So we could just do that. Man appeared in court, this is what happened. And that's it.
Sweet, sweet to the point.
Short, sweet to the point. So that was basic news that we looked at.
It was good though, wasn't it? Because he did a lot of pieces of camera with different angles, all on a Apple iPhone.
Oh really? Was it all on the phone?
Yeah, all on the phone.
It looks
with
nice.
With gimbal and with the phone on the tripod, and it looked really good.
Yeah.
And it was on the jetty, and I was walking backwards filming him. Health and safety issue there.
Well, this is it. I mean, this brings us very neatly on to filming with phones because on Sunday it's the Remembrance Sunday. So we've got the service in the cathedral and then the march down to the Cross of Sacrifice and then the Act of Remembrance there. And we'll be doing it mostly on phones. Last year, same kind of thing happened. And there's a ship in. There's one of the big ships in. It's Zandam's in on Sunday, which is 1,432 passengers.
Jeez.
So it's going to be jam-packed. Of course, if you're filming with a phone, you look like you're a tourist.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this. I remember last year when I was on that corner of the road trying to get it, and you'd have tourists coming in and out, and because they come off that jetty as well.
Yeah.
So they're constantly walking in front of you. And I remember I was with, was it Jeff McMahon? It must have been either Chief of Police Jeff McMahon or Gary Roberts, the deputy. And they were standing there like Terminator around me, trying to stop people from getting in my shot. Madness.
So you could get that. So anyway, this year we've actually printed ourselves off some makeshift ID badges that say FITV on them. So hopefully we will look a lot more official.
Beautifully made.
I'm very tempted to put on the fluorescent pink media bib. just to see what happens.
You could if you're standing on that corner.
Yeah,
that would be
probably
right.
work a lot better.
But at the remembrance itself, I'd rather we didn't have high vis stuff on, because it's not. And actually, that's something on my list of things, because I've put here FITV are too polite, because we have had in the past, when it's been major memorials and things like that, you have foreign press coming over and they're just pushing in front of you. They don't care. They've just got to get their shot. And I've had it before now where I'm at a respectable distance filming somebody, and some foreign media has come in front of me. And when I say foreign media, I'm including you here, UK, just stood in front of me, blocking my shot.
They're terrible for that.
So, but we do need to make sure, so that was Hannah putting her microphone back on.
Sorry.
But we do need to make sure that during the 2-minute silence we do not move at all. So as soon as that trumpet starts the last post, do not move.
I remember when I first started the job here, and I came and Paula said, oh, memorials, there's lots of memorials and this kind of thing, and I thought, oh yeah. And I didn't really know what to expect. And then I remember I used to find it so difficult, because when they do the silence or things like that, because obviously it's quite a sensitive event, and you're there trying to get shots of people looking sad and upset. Do you know?
It's intrusive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really difficult. And you kind of think, well,
awful.
actually, we're not paparazzi here. We're not going in for the money shot or anything. I don't really want to be getting in the way of someone, or you know, you've got to kind of have that. But it's hard to know where that line is.
Yeah, it's
especially
very
with the Darwin Cemetery. Do you remember with the Argentine families that came?
That was awful.
To visit.
Yeah.
It was one of the first stories Katie and I did.
Hello.
Sorry, you're busy.
Come on in, Richard. We're doing the podcast. Okay, so we're back. We've now got Richard Cockle all mic'd up.
Special guest.
Special guest. You're not a big fan of podcasts, are you, Richard?
I'm not particularly. It all seems to me non-ratios and incantations. But,
but not our podcast, obviously.
No, ours are brilliant.
No.
I really should listen one day.
So it's November, and well, you refused to do this, Kyle, because you've got a gorgeous beard as it is, and you didn't want to get rid of it.
I know if
But,
gorgeous is the right word.
Thomas has shaved off his beard, which he did on the 31st of October. You can see that in the last podcast. I think I put it on YouTube, and I think it's on our Instagram, is it? Yeah. On our Facebook page. And he's been, since then, attempting to grow some facial hairs.
It's not going well.
It's not going well, is it?
No.
Slowly but surely wins the race.
Especially when you see, I think he was saying that someone from the rugby club shaved their beard off at the same time, and they've already got a pretty thick moustache.
Yeah, but this guy's a man. Thomas is in his 20s. Like, come on. That's not very fair, is it?
So things I've been noticing while I've been editing the programme this week, Kyle, you started to breathe like Chris Waters. And it's beautiful. Because when you're about to start a story, you take quite a lengthy but regular breath in. So it means that when I hear you starting to breathe, I can click, and it's just the perfect amount of time when you start to breathe. So well done on the breathing there. You
well
did
done
very
on
well.
staying alive whilst doing the news.
Yeah.
I know, breathing is a challenge for me.
But let's talk about Hannah's murder face.
My murder face?
Yeah,
What's my murder
Hannah's
face?
got a murder face, because if you're not talking, when you're talking, you've got this gorgeous smile which switches off as soon as you stop talking.
Is this when it's not my... no, yeah.
So when you're not talking, you look like you're about to murder someone, and then you start talking and you're all sweetness and light again.
I find it difficult because it's that hard to know. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Whilst the other one's talking.
Look
you kind of
interested,
sit
pleasant,
there,
and
I
not
kind of just
murderous
go,
thoughts.
I find it really difficult.
Do you know what are you supposed to do?
Watch them on breakfast television. They have the same problem.
Yeah.
Thomas does do a Dan Walker. He tends to sort of, for the benefit of the tape, I'm leaning forward. He sort of leans on one.
He has a list to port.
Yeah. But I think it's only because he's got quite long limbs, so he's able to do that. I think if anyone else tried to do that,
we look unslouched and uninterested.
He's quite a lengthy guy, isn't he? So the other thing I noticed in the IJS shopping package, which is in today, interviewing children, quite a difficult thing.
Very difficult.
Because they will just literally answer your question. And it's funny because I've got media training on this list as well, because I've been, I was editing some, and it's not just one, it's quite a few of the MLAs who should have had their media training, who are going on and on and on and adding and because we don't speak while they're talking, I think it's like a conversational cue, isn't it? So if I know you're about to speak, I'll probably shut up. But if you're obviously who you are, a journalist, and I'm talking and you're not speaking, you just tend to
monologue.
Go on and on and on.
Oh my
Isn't
goodness!
it?
You
Yeah.
don't. So
You just want to watch some of them on Talking Point. There's one in particular. I cannot break
You
it.
mentioned.
It's very difficult, though.
It is
isn't
very
to-
difficult.
to-
It's very. You want to, because you can see people watching television getting thoroughly bored with
Yeah.
this going on, and you want to break in. And if you talk very slowly and keep going, nobody can break in.
It's like that. Children, on the other hand, ask them a question, they'll just answer it.
Yeah.
Let us say
One
yes.
word,
Yeah.
extremely direct.
How's it been today? Good.
That's
I
right.
love it though, because with children you can keep
And
your
I bet
questions in. That's
Yeah.
the thing, you can get away with keeping your questions in, and people kind of have a bit of a laugh at the struggle you're having trying to get some words out of
Yeah.
them.
But so delightfully honest as well.
Yes.
I remember interviewing a young lad a few years ago for the fun run, 3K fun run, and I said, so do you know where you're going? And he just went, no. We've still got it online, that was lovely. And then the other one was, there's a little girl at an Easter celebration at the town hall. And so I said to her, just tell me what's been happening today so far. And she paused and then she said, I had Rice Krispies for breakfast.
That's like that little girl at the Christmas tree festival where it was Glitter and Glue had made a Christmas tree
Yeah.
for the Christmas tree festival, and they'd all made their own
So
decorations.
Glitter and Glue are a craft group.
Yeah,
Other craft
and they had
groups
like
are
lovely
available.
little pictures, and they'd made their own baubles. And I was kind of said to this girl, oh, how did it go? How did you make your baubles? And she did the same thing. She said, well, my babysitter's mum was going to come, but then I couldn't get to Glitter and Glue, but then I got a lift from so and so. I kept it in because I thought it was quite funny, actually.
It's right from the
It's
beginning.
like when we were at the Crazy Golf at the weekend, and we were interviewing a young boy, asking about which of the Crazy Golf holes he found the easiest and the hardest, and took a great long pause while he was thinking about it, looking around the room, before turning back and going, number 2.
Bless him.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, they are lovely. And talking of the Crazy Golf, I thought that was a brilliant idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely brilliant idea. In the Falkland Islands, when it's quite windy sometimes, and things like that, I think maybe they could do with putting it in the winter.
Mm.
But to create a Crazy Golf hole, and talking of that piece, you ended it so beautifully with that hole in one, lovely shot.
Yep.
Andrew Stanworth, straight in
Gosh,
it goes.
there was actually one hole in one out
There
the
was
shots
a
that
hole
you
in
were
one.
showing me. You were like,
There-
God,
there-
no one's getting near these holes.
There were some people struggling on the. They were quite hard. The courses though.
Well,
I thought.
I interviewed Zoe,
Mm.
and she on the one that she'd made, and before I started the interview, she hit it straight into the hole both times, bang, and then I did the interview, and I said, right, I'll just film you doing that. Wasn't going to go anywhere near it for about 10 attempts she did, and it nowhere near it. Anyway,
Out of
Power of
interest,
editing. You
Exactly.
Just kind of.
out of interest, it is being discussed at this moment that might be a Crazy Golf come along fairly well in the future. Yeah,
That was good.
yeah.
I think it'd be a brilliant idea.
I think it would. I mean, there are lots of days where you wouldn't be able to play Crazy Golf
Yeah.
outside, but
Yeah.
but the idea of people just wandering down and
Happy
getting
days.
a set of golf clubs and having a potter around, it's just another thing for people to do. isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm. Well, we're coming into the it's sort of the equivalent of May, really, in the northern hemisphere, but in the southern hemisphere we're in November. So you've got quite a lot of hay fever going on, haven't
I
you?
do. Yeah, I'm starting to be quite affected by it. But then again, you never notice because my nose is always blocked and I'm always half dying.
Snivelling.
and
But
sniffing.
luckily, Hannah did a whole piece on hay fever
Oh,
last
I
year.
know, I did. It's one of my favourite pieces. It's me by some lovely gorse bushes, and do you remember that piece
With
I
the
did
pappy
outside the
poopy
cathedral?
hands. Yeah.
And I'm talking about flowers. It's great. That was a
See,
wild whack, wasn't it?
I never expected hay fever to be that much of an issue down here. I'd have thought that
It's,
would all
it's
be...
awful.
No,
No, it
pollen
is. It's
count.
awful, isn't it,
Mm.
If
Richard?
it's any consolation, you grow out of it. I used to get hay fever in a snowstorm when I was young, literally, and now it doesn't affect me at all. But one thing which nobody actually thinks about is the pollen off the macrocarpus.
Oh,
It blows all over the town, and if you're anywhere near a sort of clump of macrocarpus at the right time, you can see this powder just blowing off them.
Oh.
So it's no wonder you get. So just stay away from the macrocarp
Yeah.
and you'll be
And
fine.
weren't you saying at painting last week there was something called, is it called the button flower? That was
Yes,
very
strong. That's a
pungent.
strong scent. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a button flower. I've never really finally identified it, but it's just a very sort of ground-hugging plant, which you get in all over the place, you know.
So are you taking medication, Carl?
I am. I was forgetting to do it for a while.
So
But-
Thomas,
Self-inflicted
But in the
hay
so
past
fever.
Thomas
couple
had
days-
some sage advice for you, and I'd quote: "Hay fever tablets work the same way as the contraceptive pill. You can't expect them to work if you take them willy-nilly."
I have started taking them. I have...
The contraceptive pill.
no. Hay fever tablets.
That's
so-
why your beard stopped growing.
Yeah, exactly. I've been mixing up pills all day, and it's becoming quite of a fast.
So you're going to take them regularly now
Yes,
because they
that
have
is
a
the plan.
cumulative effect.
That is the
I
plan.
think I may have to join you because my eyes are dreadful, but I don't know whether it's because I didn't wear makeup at all while I was in the UK, and then this week I've been putting it on and my eyes are so sore, so I'm not sure it's that or whether it's the hay fever, which I do get occasionally. Anyway, let's move on to things that annoy Paula, because yesterday
We're all turning our heads to the list on the whiteboard.
No, yesterday, in the morning, I did the script. We did a read through here because Kyle and Hannah are on the sofa today. This is week 454. So we went through the script. There was one thing that I told you twice about, and then I went off to film the court reports with Tom. And when I came back and I was editing the programme, you blimmin' done it. So it's the HMS Forth. What do we think HMS stands for?
Her Majesty's
Her Majesty's something.
service.
Her Majesty's ship.
Ship.
Right, so it doesn't require a direct article. It's just HMS Forth. Both of you called her the HMS Forth.
Did we?
Yeah, you blimmin' did.
Was that in
Even
the
when I
script?
told you about
I
it.
don't think
No,
it was. I think
Nope.
we just added it.
Did we?
because Paula wrote the script.
If you
and
want
Paula
something
didn't
that
put a
annoys
definite
me,
article.
it's grammar police.
Yes, Richard, come
Yes.
on our side.
Well, I know. I'll have letters about it. Yes.
That's what happens when we're left
Yeah,
unsupervised.
exactly.
what happens.
Can't trust us.
Yeah. At the end of this programme, this week, that's 454, we've got a bit on the Cubs and Beavers and Scouts. I don't know whether it's very, very clear, but the Beavers and the Cubs certainly do a badge for toasting marshmallows. So that was the point
I
of
thought
that
you
thing.
were joking about that.
No,
actually.
there is an actual physical
God,
badge.
you wouldn't
They've
have got
got
that when I
badges
was
for
there.
everything.
Yeah.
It's hard not to burn your mouth when you toast the marshmallow.
Yeah.
That's all part and parcel of it. But if you look at the pictures, they've all got ski masks on.
Yeah,
is
they
it?
have, yeah.
Is it for like the protection from the
no,
embers?
you know what it is they did flour dipping from the marshmallows. So there's a bowl of flour and they had to dip to get them, did buried treasure, and they did apple bobbing and stuff, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
So the goggles
Oh,
were-
It
Yeah.
sounded like a fact. So that was for bonfire night because Hannah does actually say shipped and not anything else in her on the sofa, don't you? Because I thought if you're not listening to it, it could sound like
I don't swear. We know
No.
this. I'm a lovely girl. I wouldn't do
Lovely.
that.
it's difficult to get fireworks shipped down, is what she actually said. And it is. So the Cubs and Beavers have a nice bonfire. They burn some guys. I'm not sure that's very nice at
Yeah.
all, really, when you think about it. Apple bobbing and all the other things. You can get some fireworks here, but you saw them.
Oh
In the
God!
shop,
Did I
they
tell
were
you about
really
this?
expensive.
This was absolutely shocking. We went to a shop, shall I say?
So I'll
Miscellaneous shop in the Falklands, and there was a box of fireworks for what was it, £190?
£190.
Jeez.
£190. Who's buying that for like a small box? Not
But
even
they
a big box.
were half price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Half
who's
price
buying
as
that
well.
for half the price? It's still ludicrous amount of money.
Yeah, so they had that.
Absolutely
One of the Arcala for the Scouts, Beavers and that is Jan Miller, who's of Welsh origin. And the Welsh Guards were at Fitzroy, weren't they, earlier in the week for a memorial.
Yeah.
And Jan had been setting up the community hall, so she missed the singing. So when the Welsh Guards came back to the community hall, they sang the Welsh national anthem for her.
Serenaded her.
She filmed it. We have actually got the whole thing on the...
It's on the
programme.
Artisan
That's
finally little
sweet.
bit.
But my question is, do you think all Welsh people can sing well? Because just taking a straw poll, they do.
Knowing some Welsh people, I will safely say that they cannot all sing.
Oh, right, okay.
I will not name names, but I've heard some bad Welsh singers in my time.
What was it Flanders and Swan said about them? They sing far too often and flat or something.
Yeah. Anyway, that sort of brings us to the end of my list of things. Because I've been starting to write things down as well. We've done everything. We've done your murder face, Kyle breathing. Yeah, we've done all that. So looking at next week then, we've got... by the way, I'm sorry, Stephen, there wasn't a lot of sport in there,
Yeah, no
apart from a
sport
bit of crazy golf. But there is sport tomorrow because MPA are playing the Welsh Guards at rugby. I don't know whether... Thomas isn't very well today. He's usually the guy who will go and film that. So we may or may not have that on next week's programme. Hannah has managed to...
Well, it's a surprise. Let's keep it as a surprise.
Hannah's managed to blag something, so we're going to see if that
So
works
Carl's
out.
going to have a go at something exciting.
Something very exciting.
Excellent.
Let's hope he survives.
Yes.
Tell
Fingers
tell.
crossed,
we,
right?
have, we have got you insured, so you're all right.
That's good.
Remembrance service, if you're listening to this before Sunday, 9:30 at the Cathedral, it will be jam-packed, so get there early. And then at the Cross of Sacrifice at 11:15. Apparently, I've heard that some of the Welsh Guards have got their full number ones with bear skins.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I think they might be I'm going to say this, I don't know, am I allowed to say this, my favourite regiment?
Oh, really?
Going to say that because they seem to do everything. Since they've come down,
Yeah.
they've been going out and helping the community and doing all
Yeah.
sorts of
They've
stuff.
been very
The
active.
most active with the community, I'm
So
going to say.
we used to have a ranking of all the MLAs. We need to have a ranking of all the regiments as well, because I quite like the Royal Marines.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Richard? Who are your...
I really had never thought about it particularly. I mean, we've always had a lot of fun with the Gurkhas.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Gurkhas are
Yeah.
they love it in the Falklands.
Yeah.
You know, they can go and shoot a goose and cook it
Yeah.
and turn it into curry and such like,
nice.
and
Yeah.
sheep and such like. But they're always volunteering to do things. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you're away, Kyle, to
I
the UK
am.
on Tuesday.
Going back to the UK for a bit of a holiday.
Bit of a
So I'm
holiday,
looking forward to.
Your whole
relaxing.
life's a holiday, for God's sake.
For God's sake, Carl, you don't even work.
And next Sunday, of course, it's the triathlon. I hope the weather's all right for it, for that to take part, to have a bit of sport next weekend. So that brings us to the end of this podcast. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.